Hello and welcome to Inside the Bot with me, Will Sedgwick, and
I'm Gabe. And
just Gabe.
Just Gabe.
Just Gabe.
What are we going to be doing on Inside the Bot?
Well, not really sure yet. I think we'll be chatting about BattleBots.
Chatting about BattleBots.
There.
Yeah,
We'll be chatting about your bots.
Yeah, some of the bots I've been making. That's really nice. Cool.
And then basically just what's going on in the bot world.
I hope that this will be the first of many. And what we want to do is we want to try and do one after every show.
After every BattleBots.
Yeah, after every BattleBots show. And would be cool to get a guest on.
That would be amazing.
So if you're out there and you want to come and be a guest on Inside the Bots, we do have an email, don't we? Can you tell us the email?
It is insidethebot at gmail.com.
So that's insidethebot@gmail.com. We'll put a link in.
Will we? I don't think we can.
No?
I don't think we have the technology yet. One day we'll have the technology.
One day.
There'll be a link.
There'll be a link, and it'd be great if you could press it. And then one day we might even show ourselves actually and do a little recording in our lovely studio that we're sat in. Which we are actually sat in a studio, weirdly enough.
It's not a studio, it's just a room.
It's a room, yeah. It's got
a
nice
laptop on a room.
Glass table.
Oh.
Anyway, so I reckon what we're going to do is we're going to do the opening season of BattleBots, which was on about, 4 weeks ago now?
Yeah, a while ago now.
So we're going to discuss that, and I think what we should do is go through the robots, the fight, and then the decision. What do you reckon?
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting fights.
Okay.
First, though, I thought we'd hear a bit about you.
So, a bit about me, what I've been up to in the shop.
Who are you?
I'm Gabe. I at the moment build featherweight fighting robots, which is how heavy are they? I've forgotten.
I don't know. You built
13.6 kilos, I recall. For the Americans, you'll have to adjust that for pounds. And at the moment, I'm building. How many have I got? I've got a couple on the go at the moment.
Yeah.
Been doing a lot of soldering recently. Been getting into soldering and heat shrinking. It's very therapeutic.
After a day's work.
But I spent the whole weekend actually soldering, which was quite exciting. Well, obviously there's better things to do sometimes, but if you're going to get your art of soldering just perfect, you need to put the hours in.
What are you prepping them for?
So I've decided, because my wiring is pretty good, but it could be better. So I've decided to strip the wiring out of the robots, rewire them.
Oh, so there's nothing coming up, you just...
No, nothing at all.
Tinkering.
Just tinkering and just making them nice, because the secret with wiring is neatness. There's a word, I like that word, neatness. And no exposed metally bits. Okay. Otherwise we're going to get short.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to get magic smoke, which roboteers will know about magic smoke.
I've seen a lot of magic smoke.
Well, yeah, I've not seen a lot, but there's been a bit.
Coming out of some tiny robots, but we'll get into that.
Some tiny robots. Actually, that's not magic smoke. Magic smoke is where you just get a little wisp. It's like a little wisp. Okay. What you've seen is a different type of smoke, and we'll get into that as we go forward. So pretty much in the shop, at the featherweight robots at the moment, full pressure CO2, 13.6 kilos, and that robot is called Legion. Oh, yeah. Another one in the shop, Maxis, which is going to be a drum spinner, and that one is a new robot which I'm building, which is exciting. So, but enough of that for the moment.
What are you building it for? Just to build a robot?
There's a thing at the featherweight fighting, the featherweight world championships in Birmingham every year, and there's a thing called the drum off. So it's pretty much built for just that one fight. And the only way you can get into it is to have a robot with a drum. And it's not really, it hasn't got a lot of, it's got a sort of underground kudos.
Okay.
At the moment, the trophy's in Australia, so...
We'll get it back.
Yeah, we're going to get it back.
We'll have it on the table.
If it were the Rumbles, because I'm sure that's what they call it.
But they called it...
What did they call it?
The Gears Awaken. They already gave it a name.
So, okay, that's fine.
Season 2, Episode 0, The Gears Awaken.
What's that taken from? The Gears Awaken. It's a pun. What's it a pun of?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's a film.
It probably is, yeah.
I don't know what it is.
If you know it's a pun to something,
If it's not,
or if it's not,
then it's just words.
and you want to email in to tell us we're idiots, insidethebot@gmail.com.
There you go.
There you go.
The Gears Awaken, or as I'm going to call it, the Rumbles. Which sounds nicer. Not to be confused with the Mumbles in Wales, which is a different place. This is the Rumbles. So let's get down to the first fight. Which robots have we got in this?
Match 1, we had Son of Waiachi, which was the Beast. Now I've got a theory about this episode.
What the Gears Awaken? Tell me what the theory is.
I have told you, but
tell me again. They're not meant to know that.
I'll tell you for Telemagic. For Telemagic, I'll tell you.
Okay, go on then.
They said they couldn't choose between 12 robots. Really, they probably couldn't choose between 5. So they picked 9 to get destroyed, and then they thought 4 of them will probably work.
Well, so you think they knew the robots that were going to go through or had the best potential of going through at the beginning?
Yeah, and I thought that as soon as I saw this fight.
Did you? Okay, so interesting. Now, do you think that they set these robots, they chose them to be in a fight, or do you think they drew them out of a hat? Because I don't know. Would be interesting to know.
Do you mean the ones that they didn't think were good?
Well, any of the fights. Are they a random choice, or have they been chosen for Telemagic?
I've been chosen for Telemagic.
Do you reckon?
It's got to be.
Yeah,
I mean...
Well, we don't know. It's never been talked about.
But
So so your theory is there's going to be what you reckon there's 4 or 5 robots which are going to go through. Actually, how many fights there are as well?
There were 4.
So there's 4 robots which they know are going to go through, and this is a really. What do you think this is? What a show for what?
I mean, basically just to show a load of robots getting smashed up by good robots.
Oh, so
which are the best fights.
Oh.
Even, I mean, as a kid, Robot Wars, you got like
what do you want to see?
Tearing apart something.
You want to see?
You go crazy. That was that weird. What is it? Something-osaurus got destroyed.
Now,
we were looking at this the other day.
I'm not sure that one. It did actually.
I think it got destroyed. The outer body just completely off by hitting the disc. And as a kid, you're like, "Oh my god, what is going on?"
So you're right,
and that's what they want.
So this reminds me. This is like the Circus of Rome. They want death and carnage, but in robot form. They want oil to come out. They want some smoke. They want a bit of smashing. They want destruction. They want bodies off. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what a kid wants, isn't it?
That's pretty much what a kid wants.
Do you think it's what anyone wants in robot fighting?
Yeah. Actually, I think they do.
So, what do you think it's like if you're a roboteer? And
I mean, you must know your robots. I don't want to say bad, but
what you built it and you think it's bad.
You must kind of be like, oh, this.
Well, I guess you kind of kid yourself a bit sometimes. So
let's talk about these robots.
Okay, let's go from the beginning. So, Son of Waiachi. Now that's from a company or a family that pretty much just build robots.
They know robots.
Well, they build them. That's what I'm sure they build them for other people.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be a lie, but I reckon they build stuff for other people, and they also. I know that they sell some parts for robots, so I think their workshop pretty much builds custom bits for robots. Now, obviously, that's a very niche market, so they must do other stuff as well. But that being said...
Just machining and things.
Exactly. Probably. Look at the quality of that robot.
Yeah, I mean...
Why is that funny?
I was looking at that, and then I just... The other two.
What, entrance?
Yeah, I mean, we've got...
So I'll tell you what, let's get down to it. Son of Waiachi, you think this is the one, this is the robot that's going to win.
They want it to go through.
This is the one that's going to be
Let's see it smash up some robots.
Let's see it destroy some stuff.
Right.
So let's go on to Creepy Crawlies then. So Creepy Crawlies are from...
The UK.
UK, yeah.
19-year-old Kelly Smith.
Oh, you've done your research.
I've done my research.
Now, I think they are a university
are they?
entrance, I think, maybe. Now, surprisingly, you've said... what's the young lady's name?
Kelly Smith.
Kelly Smith, 19 years old.
19 years old.
If you look at the team members, you'll notice there's one particular team member in this group who's called Mr. Ian Watts.
Okay.
And Mr. Ian Watts is a veteran of Robot Wars and indeed of BattleBots.
Has he made anything good?
He has. He's made Bigger Brother. Do you remember Bigger Brother?
I don't.
It's the flipping robot, the one that that beat Hypnodisc in a sort of super carnage, right slaying to the end.
I know the name, but
He's worked his way out.
It feels like so long ago.
You'd know it if you saw it.
So I think I would.
Now, I'm not sure that information doesn't just disappoint me more with this entry. Now, we're going to go into it because actually there's some good stuff in these robots.
Is there?
So tell me I know that you've got another theory about this robot entry.
I mean, at what point have you ever drawn?
What?
Have you ever drawn one robot and thought, now I could make this robot one massive robot, or I could make 5 tiny ones, and it would be so much better? Well, have you ever thought that?
I've never thought about it. Do you know what? I've often thought clusterbot. I have thought about that, or I've thought minibot. But we all know, I think, from the few fights we've seen, because I think it's only a really modern thing where you can start getting a minibot now.
Yeah.
So, and certainly the first time I remember seeing a minibot was last BattleBots. That was just the one that's just gone.
Oh, yeah.
But now, the thing about minibots, you've still got the weight limit, but now you've got to divide it by 5. So actually, if you divide it by 5, I reckon those mini-bots there, the creepy crawlies, come out at about £48 each, which is 22 kilos.
Okay.
So now they're against 110 kilo monster of Son of Archie.
A beast.
Now, do you know what though? The creepy crawlies inside, they're actually, because this is called Inside the Bot, so I thought I'd do a little bit of research.
Get inside the creepy crawlies.
So I'm going to get inside a creepy crawly for you. Inside the creepy crawly, you've actually got a hydraulic crusher there running at 100 bar. That's a significant amount of crush.
But it's not going to get near anything.
Just bear with me. You've then got Saturn motors in there, which are accompanied by a company called Wranglebox. Wranglebox.com. But now, interestingly, sorry about that.
Paid for that.
No, I didn't.
You got paid for that.
I didn't get paid for that.
Every time you mention Wranglebox.com, is that a $5 in your pocket?
No. But what's strange about this and what intrigued me, and when I started reading about these bots here have got the exact same drive and speed controllers and motors as my featherweight Legion. So got the TZ85s modified, got the Saturns from Wranglebox. In fact, the TZ85s come from Wranglebox as well.
Now, I've seen your featherweight.
You have?
I'm surprised they did as well as they did now that you've said that.
Hey, hang on a second. Not the one that the fuse used to fall out of.
Oh, well, that's
not that.
That's
one.
another story for another day.
Story. This one now he did already. It's a good robot.
Well, this is a good one.
No, mine because it's a featherweight.
Okay, yours.
Remember, what I wouldn't be doing is putting my featherweight in with heavyweight robots
because it would get trampled on.
It's going to get destroyed, and I think it was fairly obvious that during the fight. But we won't talk about the fight because we need to do the other robot.
We'll talk about ultra-violent.
Now, do you know what? I'm going to put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I dislike a robot that has such a violent name.
Mm.
Do you get where I'm going with that?
You should have called it quite violent.
No, I don't like the word violent in a robot name. It gives the wrong message.
Hard handshake.
Hard handshake would be a better name. That would be the sort of name you go, I might need to brace my arm just before I actually
get ready for some mild discomfort.
That happens all the time, doesn't it? So, but ultra-violent, I don't like the name of that one.
No.
It's too much. It's not. It's almost like going, I'm going to kill you.
It looks like it could have been okay.
I don't think so. I disagree with that.
I thought it could look. It would have just been in the fight at least, I thought.
Well, I tell you what. So as a roboteer, if you're in a rumble, if you're in a rumble, generally there's the good robots, there's a medium robot, and then there's fodder. So
it's funny you should mention that.
Now, interestingly,
that looks like that's what's happened.
Sometimes you don't know you're the fodder.
I think they knew they were the fodder in this case.
Do you think they entered as fodder, or do you think they actually thought, do you know what, we might do all right?
Well, I think 300 entries they said they got.
Yeah.
Something's got to have been better than this. And they're going to know that.
Of course, but is it all about which robot's best?
Yes.
But sometimes, if we just had all good robots...
But they need to make good television.
Exactly. So you need to balance it out. Now, do you know what? Let's talk about the fight now. So
the fight itself. Went down as I think anyone who was watching thought it would.
So Son of War actually spat up.
Yeah.
The creepy crawlies legged it everywhere and sort of moved around. And do you know what? I've driven with the Saturn motors. Incredibly powerful motors. Amazing motors from RambleBox.com.
Stop it.
Right, amazing motors. But they are incredibly, because they're so powerful, you do need to turn your dual rates down to ensure that you actually get a better drive. And if you've not driven those robots before, which I believe some of them probably hadn't had much practice, they career all over the place. And that's exactly what we saw.
It didn't look like they were in control.
No, because
no one would drive head on at that full, at Son of War. Actually,
what choice do you have as well?
Well, wait for it to hit something else. Wait for it to go for all the
wall.
ultraviolet, old hard handshake.
So what we've got is we've got a hard handshake on the side. We've got the creepy crawlies razzing everywhere. We've got Son of War revving itself up to a monstrous speed.
Just ready.
It's got those amazingly big hammers.
Yeah, like hammers. It's pretty cool.
3 hammers, which is just amazing. Ultraviolet, what's it doing?
It's just chilling out. It didn't work.
What do you think?
No drive. I don't know what's going on.
Well, no, the wheels are going round.
Were they?
They were spinning round, but
ineffectual. Would you reckon it was the stage floor?
Well, I think it's metal floor. I think at BattleBots, I think they just did not get any traction at all, which is weird because you'd think that they'd have tested it. Now I know, or I think there is a test arena there, which must have the same floor as the BattleBots floor. So did it drive in there? And if it didn't, why did it get put in the show?
Yeah.
But it was clear that thing could not drive along. And its wheels were spinning around. It wasn't getting any traction.
It was kind of just trying to crawl around with its self-righting.
So then it was just flailing around, quite powerful though in those self-righting arms. So then we get that first hit, which takes out 2 creepy crawlies, which I did love.
It's one into the other.
It's one into the other, and that is like battered across the... And that's pretty... I remember, creepy crawlies, I think if 3 of them go out, then they're done.
Yeah.
To be honest, they never were going to win. What would happen there was if you had 3 left and 1 broke, and then the hard handshake didn't work, which was clear, and then Waiachi magic smoke. That's the only way that could have happened. So this was a foregone conclusion, really. The decision was there's a knockout on both. Once the Son of Waiachi had had a go at the creepy crawlies, he went across and said hello to.
He did. I think he tried to help them get it going by giving it a tap.
He tapped it.
But he tapped it a bit hard.
I think he took the wheel off, didn't he?
He did damage a wheel, definitely. I don't think he took it off.
So, anyway, that was never going to do anything, that robot. And do you know what? I know how much effort it takes to put a robot together. And it is significant.
Mm-hmm.
I do find it difficult to knock someone a bit, but to be honest, I was disappointed with that robot.
I find it easy to knock them.
You can knock
rubbish. It didn't work.
I'm disappointed that he did not. Not 1 point did you put it down on chest attraction.
If you're going to put lights on it, asking for trouble.
Put some more rubber on those wheels.
Anyway, so that was that fight. There was a little lipo fight, which was nice.
Oh, you seen it? You know what you're talking about now.
Go.
So magic smoke is a small amount of fire. That's when your speed controller blows up.
Okay.
Lipo fire is when you get that thick white smoke, and that's your lipo fire. That's going to be burning out. You got to wait for that to burn out.
Is that what you punctured a battery?
Ruptured a battery,
or overheated,
or used it to death, and then it's exploded it. To be honest, those ones there, the creepy crawlies didn't get a chance to use any batteries to death. They're running on. So they've got, what have they got in them? They've got an 18 volt lipo in them, so 18.5 volt lipo in them. Running on RambleBots Saturns, you could run that all day long on one of them. It would be fine. So it was definitely a punctured battery after being smashed by an enormous hammer. Not much happening there.
No, it was a nice little fight.
Okay. Now
demonstrate the power of a spinner.
Definitely. Now we've got fight number 2. Who's in fight number 2?
You've got Basilisk.
Basilisk. Where's Basilisk? Wasn't it Canadian? It's Canadian, is it?
Basilisk was Canadian, and there was I can't remember the name of the flying thing.
You told me.
I told you just now, but I haven't got it written down.
Is it what you just said?
It's like Air Buddy. All right, we'll call it
Air
Basilisk and Air Buddy.
Now, Air Buddy's strange because I believe, yes, he does. Air Buddy has a drill.
Airbuddy's got a drill.
He's got his own little drill.
Why has he got that?
And the premise of Airbuddy is, I imagine, is Basilisk. This is very niche tactics, by the way. Basilisk flips or attempts to flip a heavyweight robot over, and then little Airbuddy lands on their underneath, their softs underneath, and drills a little hole. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced how Airbuddy holds on to the robot.
I'm sure there's some kind of suction going on.
There must be magnets or suction of some type, but it's not the best thought out. And who else have we got in there?
We've got Airbuddy and Basilisk, then we got Blacksmith. That's my one.
Is that your favourite?
That's their pick. They want that to go through.
You think Blacksmith is the main dude of all these fights?
Blacksmith, oh my god. So, just for the show.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got a beastly hammer.
Now, do you know what?
That flame comes out of.
Exactly. Now, with Blacksmith, I followed the build of Blacksmith online. Okay, so I was watching it being built, and it was okay, and I actually got quite excited by it until I saw it finished, and then I was disappointed. Why? Because I don't know really.
What were you hoping for?
Well, just something else rather than a box.
Okay.
But I'm going to change my mind because when I saw it fight...
Well, we're not talking about the fight yet.
We're not talking about the fight, but I was disappointed.
If we see it move, because at this point
we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it.
Yeah. So let's move on from Blacksmith. I was initially disappointed with him.
And then my favourite type of design, there's two small bots. Brilliant.
At least they've only halved the weight.
They've halved the weight. I can't help but think the amount of energy you get in one big bot with a spinner is more than you get in two small bots with spinners.
I'm definitely going to say that. And do you know what? I've actually just had a thought. Right? This is my thing about
a genuine thought. Go on.
And it's just like drifted in on a barge.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's say you and I were going to build robots.
Okay.
Let's form a team.
All right.
We're not going to, but in...
Let's build a massive robot. I'll do the weapons, you do the driving.
And then I'm going to go, no, I want to drive the robot, right? And you're going to go, no, I want to drive the robot. And then you go, tell you what, let's build two.
Tell you what, let's split it.
So I think it's to do with...
But why?
They can't decide who's going to be the driver, so they build two. So just have two of everything. And then make it really small.
So I didn't really like that.
You don't like that?
Anyway, the fight was actually a really good fight. I think this is my favourite fight.
It definitely. Do you know? It was my favourite fight as well. Without this fight in this episode, I would have been deflated at the end of this. And I'm not being mean about the bots, but I would have been deflated because this fight for me actually was pivotal. I was so excited for this fight. This fight made me jump out of my chair. Now, but why?
I'll go with that.
Why though? Now, I'm just going to give you my... There's very few robots, and I believe a robot is like a puppet, and a roboteer, or the person who's driving the pilot, is the puppeteer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's got, and there's very few robots which actually become like almost sentient, become the thing themselves. They start to be you start to believe in them as a being of the. I know. Just bear with me.
I feel like you've fallen in love. Carry on.
I have a bit with Blacksmith actually. I didn't know that Blacksmith could ignite his hammer.
Really?
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that was a thing. And when I first saw it go off, the robot came alive for me. And do you know what? I'm not sure if they were puppeteering or they were doing it by accident.
Do you think they knew that it could spit fire?
Well, I'm sure they did. Hopefully they put the butane in. But it was almost looking like they were having trouble igniting the flames.
Yeah.
It was, but it seemed intermittent. But when it did fire, it was almost that robot became enraged. It
was so good, and I feel like it was so well driven in the fight.
Amazingly driven. He was all over. I mean, when he stacked the two Geminis on top of each other and then beat the crap out of them, it actually pans over to the two young dudes who are driving. One of them actually mouths like he cannot believe what's happened to him, piling them up, whacking them with a hammer. But we've gone too close because if we go back before that, Basilisk comes along, and I've learned recently the rule: if you have a flipping robot, I have a flipping robot, is you don't just flip. You wait, right?
Yeah.
And I've had to learn this the hard way. You've got to wait, right?
Oh,
Because you can be too excited. If
I've seen you not wait.
Exactly. If you're too excited on your knob, you go for it. You flicking your knob. Oh, you're bouncing all over the place. But you need to wait. It's tactical. You need to get that other robot really onto your
You've got to get the full flip.
Otherwise, you're wasting it. Okay. Now, I was disappointed with that flip on that robot. We did see it go off, I think, maybe once or twice.
It's not really much. No,
there was no oomph with that at all.
What's going on? It's just a massive box.
It's a terrible. I don't know. Again,
but
do you know what?
The thing is the drone, isn't it? There's
a lot of work in that robot, and I've always thought that a drilling robot would be a good thing, and I had to rewatch the BattleBots again because I couldn't work out why that drone just flew into the back of Blacksmith and then just broke itself on the ground.
I mean, it was flying around, and then I feel like he felt he had to do something, and then he just flew. No,
but I think he actually genuinely came in to land on the back of Blacksmith,
which would have been amazing.
But it's almost impossible. How?
Yeah, maybe we'll see some better driven drones.
But what are they going to do? What are they ever going to do?
No, air buddies are going to get on top of the robots.
Air buddies they're a gimmick.
All right.
I'm not.
So we will note this down as a Gabe statement. Air buddies are a gimmick.
Definitely.
If an air buddy wins a game, wins a match,
I will do something. I'm not sure what.
You'll eat your words. That's what you'll do, Gabe.
I'll eat my words. We'll put them on a piece of paper already. Right. Now, okay, let's go. So Basilisk does a terrible fight. Doesn't really do much. Moves really slowly. Yeah. Air buddy wafts about. Blacksmith hits the back of him. And he actually folds his metal in. You see that, don't you? Folds that metal in.
He's just a beast. That hammer is a beast.
He doesn't do much after that. Gemini, they are moving about, actually. Quite narrow, driving okay. The minute he piles them up on top of each other...
just whacks them. He just goes at them, just constantly.
The pair of them, they have really got nothing left. And I think they were totally shocked by his furiousness. If that's a word.
We did see...
Ferocity.
Ferocity?
Ferocity.
I don't know. But we did see... Blacksmith's not completely immune to any kind of badness.
I forgot about that.
It had a little fire.
End badness. So, Blacksmith... I don't know, but I'm only going to guess. But Blacksmith, that wasn't a lipo fire.
No.
Because it actually had flames. So lipo fires don't have flames, they have smoke.
No, and it carried on afterwards.
So I think he burnt his motor out. Because his hammer wasn't working. And if you notice how much hammering he'd done.
He had done a lot.
So, I mean, let's
let's
hope that motor isn't too spendy. Because that is one of those every fight.
He was using it. It did come down very quickly. Can he adjust that to mitigate the effects of that? He was very quick fire with his hammer.
You need a quick fire hammer.
I know, but I was shocked by it because coming from Robot Wars, you think of shunt or something. The little hammer, it goes down. It's very slow coming back up. You just think of the old days, and it's a quick fire hammer compared to the olden times.
That's a heavy hammer as well.
Yeah.
You're going to love some hammers that are coming. Because I've looked through the BattleBots pages, and
I haven't really done much.
You don't need to
apart from learning Kelly Smith's name and her age.
That was nice. But there's some great hammerbots coming, and let's hope they're even a match for Blacksmith. Do you know what Blacksmith though? The flames, amazing. I love it. When he gets so angry, his whole head explodes in flame, and it's 8 feet high. Amazing skills. Not that it's ever going to do any. He's never going to do anything with it.
Oh, no.
The flames aren't going to hurt anyone, I don't think.
We say that, but they did kind of get onto the wheels of one of the Gemini bots.
Yeah, and that's not going to do. A singed nice, wheel. Though. Yeah, it looks nice.
What's he done? Burn the motor.
What damage have you got? I've singed his wheels.
I've singed his wheels.
That's it, he's furious.
Anyway, the fight went to the judges in the end.
Did it?
It did.
I forgot that.
Because one of them was still moving.
Oh, of course. Yeah, because we had...
Was Basilisk still moving?
No,
maybe.
Really. No, I don't think so. It was definitely, I think, it would have to be between Gemini and Blacksmith. That's right. So he was still, and obviously the
last 20 seconds,
the poor Blacksmith dude is
everyone was a bit worried about the Blacksmith.
And now you can hear the person going, you've got to move,
move, buddy.
And suddenly, comes into life, he starts moving about, and that's when you know that he's got that fight. But that would have been disappointing if he'd lost that.
That would have, one of the other two into the BattleBots proper, not really going to do anything, are they?
No, and they're just going to be the fodder. So, going back to the fodder, who's the fodder in this one?
Oh, Gemini.
Do you think Gemini's the fodder? Well, Basilisk.
They kind of both semi-fodder.
You need to say, I think
Everybody's a gimmick.
I always want to say there's always got to be, you're going to choose within the fight who's the fodder. So when we get into BattleBots proper without Rumbles, but Rumbles there's always fodder, and I'm going to call that Basilisk and Airbuddy with the fodder in this one.
You see, I kind of think the drone thing makes me think they weren't really that bothered about how good the robot was.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, maybe it's fodder because they weren't really that bothered.
They did put a lot of effort in. Sometimes, remember, you don't know you're the fodder. Sometimes you think, you actually have I'm actually going to do all right.
I think each one of those two will look at the other and be like, oh, they're the fodder. Yes.
I'm not the fodder. They're the fodder. Well, there you go.
I think maybe, Gemini, I think for me was the fodder.
Okay.
I just don't think that's ever going to do anything.
So this fight, Blacksmith go through, other ones out.
Yeah. On to match 3.
Oh. Match 3.
Match 3. I like this one.
What?
This is a masterclass in poor driving. But we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
We had Invader, which was green, and a full body spinner.
Nice use that. Now you've learned. So that's, Invader is full body spinner. I'm not sure, even though we're called Inside the Bot, obviously I don't
know what's going on in there.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
It had a chimney.
It did,
It had a chimney, which was nice.
Well, the chimney's obviously to stop it. If it gets flipped over, it won't stay on its top.
My issue with that, it did look a bit unsteady as a result of having a curved chimney. Well, maybe it had a bend in the end.
Yeah, maybe
it just didn't look very steady.
Maybe there was a little stove inside. Someone was warming their hands.
It's got a nice little 2cc engine in there.
Do you think? No, it's definitely. It's not. It's definitely electric.
It's a modified lawnmower.
No. There's not. Do you think that's it? No. That's got an electric motor. It definitely has. It's not petrol at all. That is.
I didn't see any fumes.
No, there's nothing. No. And then we've got
Mohawk,
so
which is a Razor copy in my book with a little bit of hair on and some flames.
Yeah, but it's got no.
It's also bad.
You can't compare that to Razor, can you? Now, do you know what Mohawk?
The shape though.
Mohawk's from the Bales family. Good quality Roboteer family, the Bales family.
Okay.
A lot of quality coming out of them. Mohawk, this same robot, was beaten in about 20 seconds on the last season of BattleBots by Hypershock.
Okay.
In like literally bang, and that was it. So this one's coming back. It's got a lot to prove. I thought to myself, do you know what? I really like the fire. I like the flames. There's some great pictures of it lighting up. I'm not sure about the sort of concert speakers on the top.
I don't know what's going on there.
But I think they meant to light up, or they might be eyes, but I don't know.
To do what?
Do you know what? If your robot's a bit boring, you put eyes on it.
You just put. I've noticed that. We'll see that in the 4th fight. Don't worry about that.
Anyway, Mohawk, I really wanted to see Mohawk crush something. And even better, one of the things that as a younger person I always thought was good would be a great to inject flames into someone. That's Mohawk. It can inject flames. We'll get on to whether it did that or not in a minute. The other one...
Lycan.
Lycan.
This was basically the cocky guy who thought he built a really good robot.
And do you know what? Actually, it's nicely made, this robot. It's got a lot happening. I'm not sure where the weapon is, because
it's it's got a little biter.
Yeah, but only if...
Which is never going to do anything.
No, because how can a robot get in his mouth?
It jumps.
Does it?
It has to jump
and then,
into
look,
the mouth.
When he gets in his mouth, he's got all his chain and wheels exposed. So he doesn't really want to be biting stuff. Now...
this was the I've written down Clampy Zippy Bitey Bot.
Because
it was very quick. Allegedly.
Too quick, maybe.
So
let's get on to the
maybe
fight.
He couldn't handle
so what's happening in the fight?
And it's red, I'd noted down. Very important feature of a robot, because kids love red.
Do they?
And the bite. Yeah, red's everyone's favourite colour.
It's not mine.
Oh, well, you're not a kid.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, hang on a second. No, but... Let's go through the fight.
The fight started out, Lycan and Invader were terribly controlled straight away. I would say.
Invader span up monstrously from the beginning at a big speed. Lycan hurled itself across the arena. And I'm not sure what Mohawk was doing.
Mohawk was just chilling, I think. He didn't really do much. Fight. Just moved about. He did hit Invader once.
No, he tried. Now, the thing about Invader, okay, it's very clear at this point that Invader is broken from the beginning.
Invader wasn't really moving.
Invader had no control over where it was going, but it was spinning incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And I believe the contactor switch was fused shut. In which case,
does that mean they had no control over the speed of the spinner, or
it just was a full blast?
Okay.
And full blast in such that you can't turn it off. Now,
there's smoke coming out of the chimney.
The chimney, someone was cooking up and burnt. Anyway, now for me, what the crazy thing to do is everyone. If you were fighting robot fighting, and another robot's not moving, you leave it alone. Yeah, you don't touch it. If it's not traversing across the arena, it's just in one spot. It means it's not working. So what we need to do is you need to leave it alone. You just let it spin because it's going to get counted out. But what was Lycan doing? Attacking it all the time.
Do you know what I think?
Go on.
He thought it would go to the judges.
And he wanted to put some effort in.
And if he hadn't put any hits in to end it, like if it hadn't even shown any kind of fight, he's not going through.
But if
he probably looked at Mohawk, thought, I can't really have that, maybe, potentially.
Oh, so he actually wanted to leave it alone?
Yeah, and he's got the quick bot. So he can get away from it in a pinch.
Yeah. Okay.
He'll just go for Invader because he reckons.
But he continued to go for it.
I can take it.
Over and over again until he destroyed himself.
And that is what happened in the end. Like a lost drive. Chain came off.
Because he was hit in his vulnerable back wheels.
Mohawk had a nice poke at the end.
Now, do you know what? Mohawk came in here. He actually thought, I'm going to get up. I can be a bit busy now because he can't move around. I can get him. And I was really riled up for a good crushing.
I wanted a good crushing.
That's like Razor. He went between his wheels. That's going to go straight through those plastic wheels, right down, bury his nose right into him, and then give him a squirt of flame.
And that's exactly what happened, is it, Gabe?
No, it's not, is it? Because it didn't crush anything.
Kind of just poked.
And do you know what I was shouting at? I actually shouted at the TV, squirt your flame, give him some...
There was a bit of flaming.
No, because I've seen that. That thing there can squirt a jet of flame out of its point.
How far are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. How far do you need?
Well, when you're in it.
If you're in it, squirt him, give him
bit.
Some juice, and then he's going to be all sauced up. It's going to be really close fire. But he didn't do anything.
No,
what was that? Now, do you know what? It might be nerves. It could be anything. But it was a good fight, but not on the blacksmith path.
No. So back to the fodder.
Who's the
fodder?
Who's the fodder?
This is a weird fight because they're kind of all average.
They're all average, but we need to choose the fodder.
I think Lycan, they wanted to sacrifice Lycan. Apparently he'd been having a go at other people.
Is he?
Saying their robots were bad.
How do you know
he was going to cut. They said it in the show. He said he was going to come and ruin them all.
Oh.
He thought that was...
Too big for his boots.
He thought that was the robot that's going to win BattleBots.
Did he?
He's delusional.
He's delusional.
And I think he needed to be sacrificed.
You always have to have a bad boy robot, so he was the sacrifice, so he was the fodder.
Yeah.
But he was the unwitting fodder. He was that sacrifice that you take to the burning man, and you go, what are we burning? You.
And I don't know what...
So...
And I don't know what he thought he was doing attacking Invader. Because he could have won that fight, I reckon.
Do you know what? Easily he could have won. All he needed to do was maul, drive into Mohawk, ram him into the wall. He wouldn't have been able to move.
Don't let him touch you. Hit him every now and then.
But he carried on hitting Invader, so he killed himself, basically. So I think the favourite for this fight definitely was Invader.
Oh, yeah. If it had been able to move, it would have been amazing.
So, and the fodder was Lycan. I'll call it one.
Yep, cool.
Okay, next fight. What are we going to do? What have we got next? Oh my God.
Oh, do we have to do this one?
We do.
Okay, all right. Match 4.
Now,
I think as soon as I saw Black Ice, I know how they named it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so they
How do you know
said
that?
our bot is a black box with eyes. Black box with eyes. Black box eyes. Black eyes. That's how they named it.
Now, this is a classic thing of my bot is so boring.
And that is a theory, by the way. I'm sure they didn't just say.
I thought you had a
that.
bit of inside knowledge,
No.
there, but I didn't know. No, you're right, actually.
I tried to contact the builder of Black Ice.
But
and he was talking to me, but he was so boring.
This dude is
But
an
I
astronaut.
couldn't even hear the words he was saying. Okay, he's an astronaut, he's an American hero, but we're not American. So we're not fooled by his American wiles. We see through it.
Do we?
Yeah.
Now, do you know what an astronaut...
An astronaut is a really cool thing.
No, he's not, though, is he?
It can't.
No, an astronaut's sort of be super safe, so he's actually a boring person.
Oh,
Astronauts, you can't have them bouncing around all over the place, messing about with instruments.
I suppose...
They've got to be really super measured and calm.
What about like fighter jet pilots? Are they the same?
They're the same. They're boring. They're not someone who can go... They're not going to go crazy. They'll have a sip of tea or a lemonade.
So you want to meet someone who's crashed his fighter jet, really?
That would be the sort of person. Douglas Bader. He would build a good robot. He's dead. Obviously, he's not going to be able to. But he's the dude who lost his legs and then escaped prison from Nazi Germany. And then he got caught again and then they took his legs away because stopped him escaping. He would have been excited.
And then BattleBots rejected his robot because it didn't have eyes.
Well, I don't think he...
He did.
What, Douglas Bader?
Yeah, he drafted one. He
Yeah.
said if in the future at some point...
He died in like 1955 or something.
He knew.
Anyway, I say an astronaut. Right, he's an astronaut. He's getting onto BattleBots. Now, do you know what? There was a robot called La Machine. Old school robot.
Okay.
Very similar to this. Classic wedge shape. He's got these little red... You love your red weapon.
A red weapon. I don't know. Are they little arms, do you reckon? At the side of his face?
No, they must spin, mustn't they? I didn't see them really
I didn't see them really do
Maybe they
anything.
spun so fast we couldn't see them. But they definitely are not going to do anything. Look at the front plate of that thing. That is like 10 mil thick. That is. Nothing is going through that.
Defence spot. Quite good for a rumble.
Good for a rumble. But boring. Boring. But driven by an astronaut.
Driven by an astronaut, so really cool.
Really cool. Then
Anyway.
let's go on to the next one.
Scorpios.
Now, Scorpius, I think, is actually a breakaway team.
It is from some other dudes.
The Rex team, which is that
Rex.
walking robot from season 1. Don't laugh at that robot. He...
Walking robot.
Honestly, walking robots. But we'll get into it. Do you know what? He's coming back, so he might be awesome this
What,
time.
Rex?
Rex might be amazing.
Put some bigger shoes on.
Put some bigger
He's
shoes
gonna
on.
Stamp on everyone.
He may well be better. But so we've got Scorpius. So Sawbot is a Sawbot. Now, do you know what's
Keep
weird?
that to yourself, Gabe.
Do you know what's weird? Is I thought to myself, actually, do you know what no one's done? No one's really done a proper, really good Sawbot. No one's done a bot that saws. And do you know this
Can we
BattleBots?
say robot,
There are
please?
so many Sawbots in this robot, aren't there?
Sawbot.
There's so many.
They've been spanked. Like, every time.
You're making it filthy. It's a saw-based robot.
And
Now, that could be good. And actually, he does a good cutting in halfway through. Not the right thing. But let's go on to the next one. The next one.
so that was Bad Kitty. And
Yeah.
I think bad being the operative word here, it wasn't very good.
Again, it's got the potential
Has it?
to be okay. I am furious about the fact that the moulding looks almost like a sort of...
There was a child
Cat.
in the team, though.
No,
They might have let
no,
the child do it.
Oh, so I shouldn't really
so-
say that it looks like... no.
And I think this is a case of the mini-bot is there so that the kid can drive it around.
So the 12-year-old girl, and that's amazing, got a girl driving on BattleBots, and that's really cool. But she's driving the little mini bot.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, her dad said she's not allowed to drive the big robot. I don't know why he doesn't give her the big robot. Why wouldn't he give her the big robot? It's not like you've got to lift it, is it?
No, it's true. I mean, and quite frankly, he couldn't have done much worse than him.
Definitely, because he just sort of sprawled around. It's got these self-righting arms, but it didn't ever self-right, did it? But we're getting onto the fight there. Do you know what? This fight here, it's got a 12-year-old girl on the team. She's driving the small one. I reckon she did the cat face on the little one. Great, good on her. But I don't like that big robot.
Fodder.
It's definitely fodder, isn't it?
Fodder.
But in this
fight,
is it?
Maybe it'll get through.
Actually, in this fight, out of all of those robots, it's got the potentially the more powerful weapon.
But why does this fight exist?
Well, because there's an astronaut.
Maybe.
Well, what do you mean? Why does it even exist? What's the point of it?
Which one of these?
This is the last dregs, isn't it? Do you think?
One, yeah, I suppose. Is it? We've got to have 4 fights to fill a show.
Possibly.
And these guys live nearby.
Now, do you know what? That might be a thing because it's quite expensive. Obviously, building a robot. It's expensive bringing roboteers over. So I don't know.
I mean, creepy crawlies. They came all the way from the UK.
Yeah, they did. That was imagine this. How many of them are there? About 6 of them.
Did you say university team?
The hotel costs alone.
I think they if they're a university, that's fully funded by the university, isn't it?
Do you think?
Who in their right mind would look at that robot and think, right, let's get on BattleBots. We've got a chance here.
So it probably has got some funding attached to it, which is good. So let's do the fight then.
The fight.
No, this.
The fight.
Now, this is where
proper good driving from
Black Ice essentially deploys his roadblock system.
Oh yes.
Now, I'm not in roads, so I'm not sure what the point of it is. But
this is really good.
He immediately deploys his magnetic roadblock, which is
obviously his secret weapon. We haven't even mentioned his secret weapon,
which causes shenanigans straight away because there's a piece of wood with yellow and black paint on it, with some magnets, obviously, a bit of metal, and that's hanging around.
And I'm going to say, judging by the driving of Scorpios, he could have ended up coming unstuck on that.
No. At the beginning, I rewatched this fight.
Okay.
Right? And at the beginning. Now remember, all the arena hazards were turned off for this fight.
Yep.
So, had those arena hazards been working, he probably wouldn't have got stuck on the screws. Now, they may have eaten him. But
you said what happened.
What did I say?
He got stuck on the screws.
Oh yeah, sorry. Now, thing is, at the beginning, before that, he's actually driving around okay.
Was he?
No. Honestly, I had to rewatch it because I thought he just drove straight.
Was he your favourite for this fight? By the way?
He definitely was my favourite for this fight.
I thought that too.
Because he's got a proven track record. Actually, the saw is quite handy. I'm not sure. Do you know what?
I do think if that had been a walking robot, he might have done a bit better. Because it wouldn't have got stuck, would it?
Well, it may have done.
It would have got stuck on something else.
It's those ridiculous upturned front bits which are going to stop people getting in front of you.
What is that for?
Maybe it's for gripping. Now, do you know what I've thought about saw robot? The only way to make a saw robot work, or sawbot work, is to actually grip your opponent before you go in with your saw.
Dead metal.
You've got to grip your bot, then go in with your saw. Dead metal style. That is the only way to do it, because otherwise you're just going to push them away from yourself.
That's the only good saw bot.
It is.
Dead metal.
This bot here drives along, wedges himself under the screws, and then he proceeds to try and chop through the screws for the rest of the fight. Did you notice that?
I did see that. Nice little sparks coming off.
Well, I'd love to see how deep he went through them. And could he have actually chopped them? Could he have chopped his way free, given enough time?
Who knows? If a robot could ever take on the arena's
well, they're static,
weapons.
so they're just there. So now we've got what have we got left? We've got a fight left between Black Ice and
this was painful. So Black Ice is basically Bad Kitty's kryptonite. Because the wedge is perfectly shaped to fit in the little drum that Bad Kitty has on the front. So he can't even do any damage to it.
Oh, you mean they're just perfectly attached to each other? So, and then he knocks him over every time. In fact, Bad Kitty's own weapon knocks him over when he hits Black Ice. And he keeps on going over.
It wasn't amazing.
It can't run upside down. It can, sort of, but it doesn't really. I'm not sure. I didn't see the little pink robot doing anything.
He was there.
Was he doing?
Oh, she was there. Pink. Yeah. No, we shouldn't gender stereotype.
It could be
he or she. I didn't see any. We didn't see underneath of it, so we can't really know what it was.
What you mean? Look under the tail for a cat?
Didn't know if it had the male or female connector.
You're right. So, but again, had we not had the blacksmith fight, I would have been furious with this fight because it was so dark.
I don't think we'd be sat here, would we?
Having said that, remember, and I need to stress this, that those robots took a lot of effort to make, and sometimes things go wrong.
I know, I'm not having a go.
The Scorpius dude, he probably it was an accident, and he revved it up, and it got wedged accidentally.
He's probably kicking himself.
The bad kitty
he could have
one
gone through there. He could have been on BattleBots.
Bad kitty one. There's a lot of effort gone into that robot, and it may have been the first time they were driving, and it's incredibly hard to drive a robot,
But why
especially
is it
in that
the first
pressure.
time they're driving it?
Well, because that's what happens. You build a robot.
Are you so pushed against time?
Most
you
of
don't
the time,
even get a chance to just test it.
you drive it the first time in the arena, and that's the first time you've ever driven it.
That's bad.
Well, you bench tested. The wheels go round, and you may have driven it like.
Well, yeah, but
The problem
put
is
it on a bit of floor.
I know you should, but you never get the option. It's only on. Do you know what, Bad Kitty? They might let's repurpose that cat head thing. Get that weapon working. I reckon they might do it right next time.
Is it a good weapon? You know drums.
That's not a drum. That's a disc. That's a disc. Yeah, discs are powerful. If you get that running right, that's good. I think he had a bit of a bad draw with that perfectly shaped black eye.
Is that heavy enough to do some real damage? That disc.
Well, no. The problem you've got there again is it's a multi-bot, isn't it? So you've got at least 15 kilos sitting in the little robot.
Is it that heavy?
That little robot will be 15 kilos. Yeah.
Give her a smaller robot next time.
Well, I'd just say build one robot and let her drive it.
Or let her do the arms.
No, let her drive the whole thing. Why not?
I suppose kids are normally quite good at that sort of thing.
She's probably been working up
Her chops.
what are those?
Hand-eye coordination. Thumbs. Those are thumbs.
No, Wii U, like a Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
she's probably like an expert at that. So
immensely skilled at the Wii U.
Did we just? Why are we promoting a Wii U? There are other.
We've both got them. That's the only reason.
There are obviously other consoles available.
Consoling myself.
We've done our thing there. I think people are maybe getting sleepy if you're in bed.
I think they've probably dozed off by now.
What
else has we got up ahead of? I mean, that was the show.
That was the show.
It was a good show.
It was a good show. I really enjoyed it. The blacksmith fight was the pinnacle for me.
Was the best. Hopefully more of that.
We got a lot of
drones that would have some kind of deciding something.
I need to be eating my words.
You have to eat your words. And then some little bots. I love the little bots.
We're gonna go through a lot more multi-bots. We're gonna see a lot of those.
I'm gonna laugh at all of them.
So
unless they win, and then
BattleBots is starting soon, which is really
2 days.
Yeah, wow. And we are excited to see who's in next. And I don't know who's in next, so
I haven't been.
So we're gonna watch it, and then we'll do another one of these.
And then more stuff this year. We've got Robot Wars later on in the year.
Apparently coming. I don't know when that's coming.
No one knows when.
Now, did you watch that?
I went to see it
live.
I
exciting.
I know some things.
No spoilers for that.
But it is really good.
So you're an audience member, which is really exciting.
And I hope they keep doing it every year.
Good.
Because it was so good.
And that was like being a kid again, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah. Shouting for like the pit and things. And
nice.
It was just like old Robot Wars.
Excellent.
You can contact us.
Oh yes. What's our...
at insidethebot@gmail.com.
Inside the Bot, which is...
the name of this thing.
The name of this
and
thing.
And Gmail, which is a mail client provided by Google.
Is it Inside the Bot in a mail client?
In a mail client.
So insidethebot@gmail.com.
And feedback and suggestions there.
If
you're a guest and you want to...
Yeah, we'd love to
like to be a guest.
If you'd like to be a guest.
We'd love if you're a guest at someone's house.
No, we'd love to Skype you in to our...
We'll Skype you in. You can come here.
Or you can come here.
Not weird.
If you're not weird. That's the thing. Yeah.
And then what you want from this.
Yeah, maybe some...
And also, what you thought about Thursday's BattleBots.
Yes.
So you have to email us on Thursday night, because we're going to do it on Friday.
So you can give us your suggestions on what you think. So the emails would be good.
Yeah, but we'll have to watch it before we read the emails.
Oh, we're going to spoil us.
We'll spoil ourselves.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. So we're going to save them all up and then we'll do them.
Yeah. And that's about it, really. Thanks to our sponsor, wranglebox.com.
Has he paid you?
Yeah, 50 quid. No, he didn't.
Did he?
He's not a sponsor.
He's just someone
in Gabe's mind.
We've just talked about him. Wranglebox.com.
I think it's the only place you know to go to get robot parts, pretty much.
No, there are other places available.
Okay, other robot part purveyors are available.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we won't get into talking about Wranglebox too much. And by the way, I've got no affiliation or do not own any part of WrangleBox.com at all.
Don't you know the guy at WrangleBox.com? Or is that just because you bought things?
And yeah, no, you know.
We're saying WrangleBox.com a lot.
We are.
He's going to have to pay us some money.
He will do now, yeah. We'll have to take his lunch money from him. Anyway,
right.
So, thanks for listening. I'm Gabe, and we'll catch up next time. Be good to hear from you on email, which would be really brilliant. And Mr. Will. So
yeah, signing off. Cheers, guys. Cheers for listening, making it to the end. If you're still awake.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Cheers.
No, Thursday.